Hey guys, and welcome to the Hobby News. Alright, so Horus Heresy this week. Well, the Sons of Horus are clearly Daddy's favourite. He's been given the best armour. Yep, okay, cool. So yeah, well, it looks like we're getting some more, I guess, support for the game, which is really nice. And yeah, this is a pretty cool sculpt, so let's take a look. Yeah, look, I mean, it's great. I've talked about this before. It's nice to see them continually supporting the game because, you know, it's a cool part of the 40k lore. You know, to dig into this part of the story is pretty cool, and there's a lot of interesting characters, and just the old school armors are always great. You know, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Mark 6, but you know, the earlier types like this are cool too. You know, and with the new box on the horizon, I think the Horus Heresy is going to get a little bit more love, and I'm looking forward to seeing if they're going to release the plastic Mark 6. It looks like that's probably what it is. The rumors kind of look like that, although the rumors on the pricing of that box seem to be a little bit full on. But you know, we'll wait and see. You know, it will just have to see what they actually do. But you know, some plastic Mark 6 would be awesome. So at least for the ideas that I've got for what I'm doing in my hobby. But I don't know about you, but yeah, that'd be pretty cool. But yeah, this one really nice. You know, so this is the Cataphractii Armour, I think it is. Is that what it is? Yeah. So hot on the heels of the Sons of Horus, Praetor comes his brother in even heavier armor, a Praetor in Terminator armor, who's ready to take the Age of Darkness that little bit darker. Yeah, cool. So yeah, really nice figure. So let's take a look. So we've got, like, you know, this cape here adds some nice movement to the pose, you know, with that classic sort of striding forward on the rock. But you know, the addition of the cloak really helps to sell the movement. You know, the sculptor's done a good job there. You know, we've got you know, as well, the banner is also going in a similar direction, which is nice. You're getting a little bit of twist in the body, which is hard to do with these older style or any Terminators, really. To get any kind of movement in them is really hard, and I think, you know, the sculptor's done a decent job of trying to show that. You know, we've got a little bit of movement here, even in the loincloth stuff here, and the little trestle things or whatever they are that are, you know, that sort of I guess Roman style elements that are on this model. Someone can tell me what they actually are, but anyway, you know, all in all, it's very difficult to make these Terminators feel like they're moving and feel like they've got that kind of presence. But you know, this older style Terminator armor does have these nice big pauldrons and so on, which help to give a bigger stature overall. And considering they seem to be upscaling the size of these into the modern 40k sort of Primaris scale, so making them more true scale, I think is a good move, and it gives this, I'm assuming that this model is in that scale, you know, it just gives a bit more presence in the upper body there. We've even got some sort of pelt behind, which is really nice. That adds to that classic, you know, Warhammer 40k style, you know, I guess silhouette, much like you get on Horus himself and so on, with that big mantle. You know, everything is helping to give this a more dominating feeling, and I think that's something you're really looking for in these Terminators, especially these older ones, that you want to have that ancient and foreboding feeling. I even like the design of the helmet here. It's a little different than your usual one. Just the shape, the way it comes down to a point, you're getting a more I guess triangular formation for the eyes, which helps make it look more sinister. Even less so in the modern ones of these visors. I've noticed, I don't know if anyone else does, but it sort of looks like the old Lego Knights. You know, like no one's really ever talked about this, but I've noticed it when I first came back to the hobby a few years ago. I remember looking at those knight helmet sort of style things that most of the Primaris have. You know, things like the Blade Guard and Grey Knights especially, and it just instantly reminds me of that angular sort of Lego Knight helmet that back in the day. And here we're getting a similar thing, but it's definitely removing itself from that Lego feeling. You know, I think it's to do with these more organic shapes here on the trim, just help to remove it from that very angular Lego-like look, and I think that's a good thing. I've never really been a huge fan of that. I like the Knight helms. I think they're really cool on Space Marines, but you know, it's very hard. You're dancing a fine edge between Lego and something cool. You know what I mean? Not that Lego's awesome, but just you know, it loses something in translation, and I think that this definitely, you know, nails a bit more of that grimdark aesthetic. So yeah, overall really cool. I love the addition of the eye into the knee pad here. Even the fact that this looks like this is cut into that. I don't know if that's usual on these this leg armor, but I really like that. That sort of in and out of that design is really quite nice. I don't know how far back it goes, but I'd even like to see that pushed out a bit further and have a nice gap in there. That would be really cool. Anything like that is really interesting. We see that on some of the Black Templars, the new ones like Hellbrick and so on, with the plating down the leg. I like that as well. It just helps break it up, because these sort of leg pieces can be quite not simplistic, but they can be a bit bulky and yeah, just kind of not as interesting in their shape. But when you start doing this sort of in and out design here, it helps add a little bit of interest to that area and breaks it up. As you can see, we're getting some detail and sort of a secondary motif here of interest, and then you come to something that's you know, bare, and then up into another piece here into the center where you see another detail, and then up into the main area, which is full of details and you know, the broader section of the model, which is nice. So overall, you know, really cool. I'm happy for this, and I hope they continue. I really love, obviously, I've talked about this before, but the fact that it looks like they're taking a more heavy metal approach to the presentation of the figures in these photos. So moving away from, I guess, the more sort of scuffed and more realism damage of the previous Horus Heresy stuff or Forge World generally, to this sort of more heavy metal, cleaner style. There's still plenty of little battle damage and so on in it, but it's definitely a cleaner paint job. And you know, whatever you want to think of that, it just presents better as an image. You know, it's much cleaner to look at. You know, even here on a white background, it's just much easier to read the forms, and I think that's going to do well for the Horus Heresy going forward, or in all of their sub games. I've noticed that they're pushing for that sort of heavy metal look rather than, I guess, a more realism look, which is going to help overall. So yeah, pretty cool. I don't think it says when this is coming, but it must be soon now that they're showing it. Maybe next week or the week after. Yeah, it doesn't actually say. Wait, here we go. So the Sons of Horus, Praetor and Cataphractii Armour will be available to pre-order from Forge World soon. Yeah, so it doesn't say when, but usually when they do these, it's only like a few weeks away. So that's really cool. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please hit that like button, subscribe button. It really helps me out. And I guess I'll catch you on the next one.